That song's copyrighted. All right, welcome to the second annual Puppet Camp, The Search for Curly's Gold. The first one was at MST3K Workshop last summer. Naturally, we couldn't do that this summer, what with the COVID, but it was so much fun. We wanted to do it all over again and use it to premiere the 2 new MST3K shorts.
You think it's too soon for me to get my vitamin E shot? I know that's what Jerry Lewis used to do.
Tom, I really don't want to be distracted this early. We have so much to do. Why don't you do it later in the show after the kids go to bed, huh?
I appreciate that, but as a performer, I give so much to my audience. For example, every pore of my being is going into uttering this line right now.
Ugh, I didn't even know you had pores.
Yeah, I do, but just in my little inoperative arms.
Well, the idea of this is to give as much money to MIGIZI as possible in the next 2 hours. Together, we've raised over $45,000, and we want to, of course, try to top that off and get to at least $50,000.
Well, I'm gonna take the vitamin E shot regardless. And I need you to give it to me. Right in the keister. And right on camera.
Let's just instead throw to Emily and GPC at the MIGIZI tote board.
Thanks, Tom and Crow. Wow, I already feel like I know way too much about what goes on backstage at Puppet Camp 2, where no hand has gone before.
If you compare it to the stuff Jerry Lewis used to do, we're right on schedule. We're here to raise funds for a wonderful group in Minneapolis called MIGIZI. It's a native-run nonprofit organization for BIPOC youth whose headquarters, unfortunately, were destroyed during the George Floyd protests. So we're just trying to help them out. Let's see where we're at with the tote board. Matt?
Well.
We're at, ooh, yeah, sweet, $46,134. That's more than when we started this. Pretty good, guys. Keep it up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's not a bad start if we do better. Hey, Tom, let's introduce our first act.
Our first act really made a big splash in entertainment over the last 4 years. He's been seen on America's Got Talent and has millions upon millions of views on Postmodern Jukebox. And his live shows are nothing short of magic. Of course, it's Puddles' Pity Party with Puddles the Clown. Hi, Puddles. Welcome to Puppet Camp 2, The Quickening.
Imagine me and you, I do. I think about you day and night. It's only right to think about the one you love and hold them tight. So happy together. If I should call you up, invest a dime, and you say you belong to me, to ease my mind, imagine how the world could be so very fine, so happy together. I can't see me loving nobody but you for all my life. with me, baby, the skies will be blue for all my life. Me and you and me, no matter how they toss the dice, it had to be. The only one for me is you, and you for me, so happy together. I can't see me loving nobody but you for all my life. When you're with me, baby, the skies will be blue for all my life. Me and you and me, no matter how they toss the dice, it had to be. The only one for me is you, and you for me, so happy together. Happy together. How is the weather? Happy together. Womp 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 womp. Happy together.
Oh, yeah, thanks, Puddles. Enjoy that mug of tears. I'm inspired to the point where I'm about to commit ventriloquism. That's right, you heard me. This robot's gonna throw his voice. Why don't you throw it in the trash? You. My friends, I have a confession. For this act, I wanted to build a friend of my own. And since I didn't want to chip a nail, I puppeteer via my subconscious, hence the little head wires up here. But something stirred within me as I brainstormed for this wacky buddy. I dozed into vivid, terrifying dreams of the old dead gods, whispering their plans to me. I'd be in a trance, drawing an unknown figure in my waking life. One night, I awoke to find that I was at a sewing machine, constructing a non-Euclidean being out of matted hair. And then he was finished. Out of madness and chaos, this creature stood, awaiting his moment to strike. With that in mind, I'd like to introduce you to my new best friend, Chonky. Now, since it's Halloween, Chonky and I are going to perform Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven. Ready, Chonky? Out. No, get up. Thank you. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten Chonky. Good boy. While I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. Hey, Chonky, what does a gentle rapping sound like? Oh, somebody's cranky. Ow, ow, ow. Let's just skip to the part where the raven shows up. Though thy crest be shorn and shaven, thou, I said, art sure no craven. Ghastly grim and ancient raven wandering from the nightly shore, tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore. Quoth the raven, that is not dead which can eternal lie, and with strange eons even death may die. Dang it, Chonky! It's one word. Nevermore. That's a good. Wait, where are you going? No, Chonky! Chonky! Oh. Okay, there's a slight problem. Chonky has escaped. Being that he is both magic and malevolent, he's jumped into the fibernetic cables of my internet, and I don't know where he's going. What have I wrought? And now let's check in with Emily and GPC.
Wow, that black thing you created, Tom, is straight out of a nightmare. And it really could be anywhere, huh?
Yes. Yes, it could. Remember, it's powered by my subconscious.
Great.
Delightful.
Hey, Emily, what you got there?
Oh, yeah, it's a bit I'm working on called Famous Pumpkins of Filmland. Oh, but we don't have time for that now. What's the tote board, GPC?
Oh, Matt, push the button.
Push the button, Matt. There we go.
Ooh,
Look at
look at
that.
that. About $600 more than we started with. $46,769. Wow, you Misties really are the greatest.
That is so awesome. Then now we are going to throw to Crow, who is a very special guest for us here at Hodgson's Puppet Camp 2, Pup Harder. Take it away, Crow.
Well, all right. Hello, everybody. I am so ever excited about this next guest. Oh, I'm going to call this Puppet Camp 2, Puppets in Paradise. I am honored to welcome the one and only, the infamous Bear from Bear in the Big Blue House.
Hello, Crow. Hello, everybody. It is so good to see all of you.
Oh my goodness, it's him. It's really him. He's really here. Oh, I gotta. All right, professional. Keep it together, Crow. Keep it together, Crow. Bear, so glad you could join us. How's it going?
It's going great. I know it hasn't been easy for, well, anybody, but we are all hanging in there, and I hope you all are too.
Fantastic. Oh, Bear, always looking out for us. We love you so much. We thought maybe, Bear, you're pretty famous. You've got
Really?
fans. You've got fans from decades past. And we took to the Twitterverse and asked some of your fans if they could ask you one question, just one. What would it be? And we've compiled a few questions to ask you here live on air, Bear. Are you okay with that?
I'm fine. I am here to answer any and all questions, so fire away, Crow.
All right. Now, at O_Payasa asks, Bear, what's in the mail today?
Good question. What's in the mail today? My absentee ballot. Thank you very much.
There it is. If we had a rim shot on hand, I would do that right.
I know.
There
Tutter already went to bed, but he would definitely be doing that.
All right, we'll get him next time. We'll make sure we wake him up next time. It's way past his bedtime. Okay, next question. At Bonnie_fan3000 asks, what's the best parts about your hometown of Woodland Valley?
Oh, well, my home in Woodland Valley is probably the best town there is, although I'm sure Leslie Knope would say it's Pawnee. However, she has never been to this town because Woodland Valley has it all. We have a general store, we have our own family doctor who actually still makes house calls, and we have so many friends who are diverse, like giraffes, gophers, beavers, a camel. Our doctor's a pig. Did I mention that?
No, the doctor's a pig, and next door neighbor is a camel?
Yes.
Dude, is it true that they spit?
Well, not if you don't ask them to.
Oh, okay, good. Only with their permission.
Yeah.
Awesome. The next question we have from at Small Canadian.
Wait. Their name is at Small Canadian?
At Small Canadian, yes.
Oh, so does that mean they're a diminutive like northern person, or is it at northern? Are they at northern and Canadian? And diminutive? I don't understand. Anyway, what's the question?
Anyway, the question from at Small Canadian is, Bear, did you own that blue house or just rent it?
Oh, I own this blue house, definitely. And still paying off the mortgage.
How long? You got a 35-year fixed one going on that one?
Don't get me started.
Oh, dear. Reality, right? Okay, the next question. At Angeli Renee asks, Bear,
yes.
Besides the cha-cha-cha, you have to say it 3 times.
Oh, yes.
Kind of like Beetlejuice.
Oh, yes, exactly.
Besides the cha-cha-cha, what are some of your other favorite dances?
Oh, well, there is one that Tutter's grandmother, Grandma Flutter, introduced us. It's called the Grandmama Bombo.
The what-o?
The Grandma Mambo.
The Grandma Mambo.
Oh, yes. Do it with me. It's really easy. First, you shimmy to the left. You shimmy, 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 shimmy. And then you shimmy to the right. Shimmy, 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 shimmy.
Okay.
You shake your head from side to side. And you do it day and night.
And you just keep going for
days. Keep going.
All throughout the day and all throughout the night?
Yes. That's why she's 100. She's had a lot of practice.
That's how you live to be 100.
Yes.
What about at daylight savings time? Isn't Sunday like daylight savings ends or starts or?
Oh yes, that's right. Why is that still going on?
I don't know.
Another conversation. I'll forget.
Yeah, let's ask. We'll ask that for another Twitter questionnaire.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question, Bear. At MM_likes MM data.
That is quite the handle.
MM_likes data. Maybe like data from Star Trek.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. I don't know.
All right.
They ask personally. They would like to personally find out once and for all.
Yes.
Bear. Where is Shadow?
That's actually a good question. I'm never really quite sure where she is. I would say, in the shadows, but that's a little too cliche. But it's the ongoing question, and one that she's never going to really give the answer to.
So
that's her mystique.
She's in our hearts, the one place we always forget to look.
Exactly.
And Bear, we've got one final question. Thank you so much for joining us, Bear. It's so great to see you. At Devilishly Handsome Golden Bot asks, I have no idea who that could be.
Right.
But at Devilishly Handsome Golden Bot asks, Bear, you are world renowned for your superior sense of smell. Are you going to be in the next Avengers movie?
Well, actually, I auditioned, and they're going with someone named Squirrel Girl rather than Big Bear. I don't know why, but there's always the Justice League. They're always in need of, somebody new.
Yeah, Justice League needs all the help they can get. Yeah. And I think your super smell can get them there. Speaking of your super smell, what do you think? What do I smell like?
Oh, well,
can you smell me through the cyberspace?
Let's try this. Crow, I do smell you, and I'm just wondering, when was the last time you changed your oil?
That's none of your business, and I'll thank you to kindly stay out of my personal affairs, Bear. Thank you so much for coming. Thanks. Maybe we should throw it to Emily and GPC to see what's going on with the tote board.
Wow, I'm knocked out that we had Bear from Bear in the Big Blue House on Puppet Camp 2, The Wrath of Torgo. Well, Emily, isn't it time to get your pumpkin bit going? I really want to see it.
Just asked me to get my pumpkin bits rolling on a live telethon with puppets. GPC,
you betcha.
I expected more from you.
Oh, pumpkin bits? Oh.
Anyway, moving right along. All right, let's get my pumpkin bit rolling, if we have to go with that way of saying it. This is Emily's famous pumpkins of Filmland. Maestro! First one is Boris Kornloff. He's got candy corns for eyes, and he's got nails sticking in him for, the monster parts. Next one. He's got, Dick Van Pumpkin from 8 is Enough, the hit TV series from the late 70s.
Wow.
Okay, next one. Okay. This is either Kim Kardashian or Dolly Parton. I'm still working on that one. I need to put an arrow that says this end up. Anyway.
Smart.
Yeah. That's all I got. For now.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
That was really something, Emily.
Well, thank you, GPC. And now I'd like to reintroduce GPC, who has a very special guest.
Yeah, wow, Emily, you sure put a lot of time into that. Ambitious. Mm-hmm. Well, I'd like to introduce someone who's really special to me. And I'm not gonna tell you why, but she's a performer with MST3K Live. She plays Mega Cynthia and is also one of our puppeteers. She lives in Minneapolis and is going to give us a special report on a nonprofit we're helping today. during puppet camp, and she's my friend, Yvonne Freeze. Thanks, GPC. Oh man, my arm's tired and I'm not exactly sure why. Must be the weather. All right. Today we're helping MIGIZI here, and I'm coming from you live in Minneapolis. And Matt, I have some slides to show. Will you push the button? Yeah, so MIGIZI is a nonprofit organization that's helping BIPOC students all over Minneapolis from ages 14 to 24. Next. And I had the great opportunity to come in and shadow some of the classes. And the two classes that I ended up shadowing were the social media and marketing, and also the green program. And in this slide and many other slides, there are students who are working on their Photoshop and making posters for Minneapolis on the Mask Up initiative and keeping Minneapolis safe. Next. This is the student's first Photoshop project, especially when students don't have access to technology. MIGIZI is providing an opportunity for them to experience technology and have a hands-on approach. Next. This is part of their green program, where they're learning how to actually build homes and how to make them more efficient. Next. More homes. They're learning about how to make heating efficient and energy efficient. It's learning about more stuff than I even know. Insulation, which apparently is important. This is actually a really cool thing that they have. They have a mock house. I actually should say that the building was burned. So all of these pictures are taken in places around Minneapolis that have opened their hearts to MIGIZI. And so right now they're downtown and also in the Native Learning Center, which are not owned by MIGIZI. But yeah, so this is a thing that's in the college downtown, the Minneapolis Technical College, where it's a tiny, small house, and they get to measure the efficiency of the house. It's very neat. I'm not exactly sure how it works. I tried to learn. These students know more than me. Next. And more green energy program. Next. And I got to speak with some of the teachers there at MIGIZI. Teddy actually has been with MIGIZI for a number of years. I think she said 23, which is amazing. And she really emphasized that it's not just having to be misplaced, it's also on top of COVID, they're not able to access as many students as possible because they had to cut down on class sizes for safety. So, this class sizes have been cut down to 7 as opposed to 21, which is their normal class sizes. So they're not able to reach as many students, which is why we're helping out today. Next. And these were the two teachers during the social media and marketing. They've also been with MIGIZI for a number of years, bringing in real life experience to these students, which is really cool. It's tactical and practical, and it's giving them the opportunity to share their own stories by providing students who are Indigenous, Black, and getting them to share their own stories, which is really neat. And thank you guys so much for donating to MIGIZI. Thanks, Matt.
Yes, thanks, Yvonne. Thanks, GPC. You know, I never see them in the same photo together. Huh. Perfect time to check that tote board. All right, Matt, give us that tote board. We want it. We need it. Wow, Wow. Alrighty, guys, we're continuing that momentum. That's so awesome. And I really want to do a huge thanks to all the Misties out there who are pulling together their resources to donate to this cause. And of course, where would we be without our staff at Alterniversal, who produces this event and things like the Riff Along and MST3K.org and the 2 new shorts that will be premiering later tonight. Now, back to my famous pumpkins of Filmland. This is my beautiful pumpkin homage to our next very own celebrity who will be joining us. It's my pleasure to introduce TikTok sensation with millions and millions of views, Toily Tea Paper.
Hello, Emily. Hi. How are you?
Oh my gosh, you're so shrill in person.
How dare you? How dare you? This is a fundraiser.
We're already starting off on the wrong step, but let's get to the questions. So I really appreciate you being here, really opening yourself up to maybe get a little more personal than you have before. So what I wanted to start with, because I think it's so important for people who are famous, really in the eye of, a lot of fans, is keeping yourself based in reality. And so much of that has to do with your morning routine. So just walk me through. What do you do when you wake up, Toily? Give us a little insight.
Well, when I wake up in the morning, usually it's around 2:30 in the afternoon. That's when, I don't have anything to do before that. I schedule all my meetings after that. And, I will roll out of bed and I will put on my sheets of toilet paper. And then I will, check my email. And then I will call my manager and see if my manager has any, promising leads on new Hollywood roles to star in. And and then I pretty much go back to bed. I mean, there's a pandemic out there. When this whole pandemic started, people were hoarding toilet paper. Did you see this? People are hoarding toilet paper. So I don't go outside. I just stay inside. I tried hoarding once in college, but it's not my thing. Not my thing at all.
Wow, that is actually a very interesting thing to bring up, that you were being hoarded. You were like a precious commodity at the beginning of this pandemic.
Yeah. I mean, everybody wanted a little sheet of toilet, so I had to go into hiding. So I stayed inside, and I didn't dare go outside. Yeah.
I feel that. I think that's exactly what I've been thinking, and no one was hoarding me. I just took it upon myself to stay in my house. So there we go. But that's so interesting, Toily. That's a really great insight into that daily life. And let me ask you this. You're a celebrity. Yeah. We want to get your opinions on big moves. So something that's really been blowing up this quarantine. Thoughts on bidets?
How dare you? How dare you? These questions were supposed to be pre-approved. Let me tell you something about bidets. Let me tell you something about bidets.
We want candid, Toily. Give it to us.
Yeah,
We want to hear it.
You better have your finger on that 7-second delay dump button, because I'm going to let it loose here. Bidets are taking work away from hard-working rolls of toilet paper. We, for generations, have been providing the means for you to wipe up, and now you're going to replace us with bidets? Oh, heck no. No. We're not going to take this lying down. West toilet paper, we're going to stand up, we're going to walk out of here, and then where you're going to be. You know what, let me tell you something, Emily. Before there was toilet paper, you know what people were using? I'm not going to get graphic here, but you know what people were using? Sticks with moss on the end of them. That's what people were using. So you better be thanking your lucky stars that toilet paper came rolling along. How dare you, bidets? Get my manager on the phone.
All right, Toily, I'm so sorry. I'm so glad we got your 2 cents on bidets. Personally, I don't really like them because temperature control is an issue. But moving on, I'm just so curious, now that we've gotten you in a bad place about bidets, I'm so sorry about that. We'll be talking to your manager later. We'll be sending some rolls over. So what do you do, Toily, when you are down in the dumps thinking about bidets? What do you do to bring yourself back up again? What do we do to rally?
Well, it really is like my father used to say when I was little. He would say, "Hey, Toily, listen, in this life, you're either on the roll or in the bowl. That's pretty much what life is. You're either on the roll or in the bowl. And hopefully you spend a little bit more time on the roll than in the bowl, because if you're in the bowl, well, you understand what I'm saying. You get it. But,
I get it.
Yeah. So I just throw myself into my work. I got almost 2 million TikTok followers that are depending on me to put out quality content every day. And I just throw myself into my work. I do my workout. I used to be, I'm okay talking about this. I used to be 4-ply. But then I started working out, started doing sit-ups, started doing push-ups, and now look at me, I'm a slim 2-ply. So I just exercise, that makes me feel good. Throwing myself into my work, that makes me feeling good. Yelling at my assistant, that makes me feel good. These are all the things that you can do to make yourself feel better.
I love it. And I know, gosh, we all have had that feeling, I think, recently of being in the bowl. We want to be on that roll. So I think I think that makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much, Toily. Man, I gotta get that put on a T-shirt or something like that. Wow.
Don't you dare!
Oh, okay. Well, we'll talk afterwards. Ooh, this interview really is pretty explosive. I hope everybody's liking this.
How dare you?
So, Toily, you mentioned your 2 million TikTok followers. I want to definitely give a shout out to them, and not to make you pick favorites. That's not what we're here to do. But if you were to say a memorable reach out from a fan, a couple memorable reach outs, what would you say?
Well, I think one of my biggest fans is my piano player, John. I mean, by default, he sort of has to be one of my biggest fans. But I love all my fans. I got some great fans. I mean, this whole wall
I was seeing
here,
that back there, yeah,
is covered with artwork from fans, and they're all just amazing. I mean, there's, my friend Joe Valdez, he sends me pictures of burritos. I'm not 100% sure why, but he does. My friend Quackers J Duck, he's a duck, but he's a fan of toilet paper. So, I appreciate him. And I love all my fans. My fans are just, one time I saw Gloria Estefan. If I may tell a brief little story, I saw Gloria Estefan walking across, the Esplanade at Disneyland, right? And people were like hounding her for autographs. And she was stopping and she was signing every single one of those autographs. And I was like, that's the kind of star I want to be. Open with my fans. Just don't touch me. All right. That's it. I'll sign your autograph, but don't touch me.
They can make eye contact though. That's cool too.
As long as it's not constant, because that gets a little weird.
Yeah, that's no good. I've tried doing that sometimes. People do not care for that constant eye contact.
No, not at all.
No, it's good advice. Well, Toily, thank you so much. Super appreciate you coming out to our puppet camp and giving your time, and just a real, you're a real personal inspiration. So it's been a pleasure getting to meet you and make a little bit of constant eye contact with you.
Yeah, well, it's my pleasure. That's the way the Zoom camera works. But it's my pleasure. It's for a good cause. Everybody give. I want to see all my little roll holes out there giving to this great cause, because it's a fun cause. And thank you, Emily. And thank you, everybody.
All right. Bye, Toily.
Bye. Gotta go.
There we went. Wow. Well, guys, who knew that a roll of toilet paper could be so inspiring? And speaking of which, I'll be back in about 5 minutes, Tom.
That is gross. Thanks, Emily.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna do a little song to intro this next fella on the Zoom charity. He was vacuuming the SLL late one night when the ground began to shake with all its might, for the spaceship he was in began to rise, and suddenly, to his surprise,
he was in space.
The man was trapped in space,
In aerospace.
cut off from his birthplace.
He's lost in space.
Robinson's out of place.
What a disgrace.
Foresters on his case. From their laboratory inside Deep 13, they tortured our boy with a cinema scheme. But then he escaped from their sinister plot and left them more confused than a Gordian knot.
He's safe from space.
He left without a trace.
A coup de grace.
What an absolute ace.
An ace of base.
He was no longer displaced.
Antitrust case.
I think we're done with the song.
Ow.
And here he
In a
is,
shoe.
the
Ow.
be-jump-suited one, Joel Hodgson.
Hey, you guys. Hey, hi, everybody. Thanks, you guys. I let them tease me. We were on the road together. So, you know, for the Great Cheesy Movie Circus Tour, how many people saw the Great Cheesy Movie Circus Tour? All right, great. Wonderful. There's about 90,000 of you. So thank you. And also, I want to encourage my friends in Minnesota and Wisconsin to vote as soon as possible. Okay, just let's get it going, everybody. This is a vote about the environment. You know, it snowed really early, and it got cold really early. So let's vote for the environment this time. Anyway, I wanted to introduce two of the producers for Alterniversal. They work with me day in and day out. They're responsible for working on the 20 feature-length shows on Netflix, the Riff Along and Square Offs and the upcoming Turkey Day Marathon, as well as this event. So there's, of course, Matt McGinnis and Cheryl Volpe.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, everybody.
Cheryl.
Yeah, Joel, don't forget to mention the 30th anniversary tour and the Watch Out for Snakes tour. too.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Thanks for reminding me, Matt. Thank you.
Don't forget all 20 episodes on Netflix.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Got it.
Yeah, you know, we're still 100% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, that's right. 100% fresh. Got it, Matt. Thank you.
And don't forget about the comic book for Dark Horse.
Oh, yeah, right. And I also wanted to thank all the original backers from 4 years ago. They really gave us a push so we could get going and do all these projects together. So thank you very much. And I think a lot of those people also chipped in for the MIGIZI fundraiser. And Cheryl's got her kind of pulsating electric witch hat on.
Oh, I'd like to wear this to work every day, but I see it's not working for this.
Hey, thanks, Cheryl. Thanks, Matt. Thanks for popping by. I wanted everybody to meet you.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Joel.
everybody. Thanks, Joel.
All right, well, good. It's not often you get to meet your heroes, and I got to meet one of mine, and it was fun because we actually had stuff to talk about. That's Wayne White I'm talking about, and we met at one of my brother Jim's event. My brother produces these wonderful happenings in Los Angeles, and this was 20 Wonders. So I got to meet Wayne there, and we become pretty good friends since then. So this is going to be kind of like inside the puppet studio, and I'm James Lipton Hodgson. Okay, hey Wayne, how's it going, man? Hello? Hey man, I can't see you, Wayne. Is Wayne on?
Hey, Joel.
Hey man, welcome
Hey.
to Puppet Camp.
Hey, good to see you, Joel.
Oh man,
Yeah.
well, this is really an honor to have you on the show. And I wanted to, I mean, Wayne's, I mean, I wanted, the thing I want to talk about the most is the puppets from Pee-wee's Playhouse, of course, but there's a few beats before we talk about that, okay? Because to me, I want to find out, and I'm sure everybody wants to find out, how you get a gig like that. How do you end up being a person that designs and performs puppets on Pee-wee's Playhouse? But before we do that, I want to talk about what was going on, because we did a pre-interview last weekend, and Wayne told me a bunch of stuff I had never heard of before that really knocked me out. So, like, you got out of college, you went to, you're from Chattanooga, right?
Yes.
What was the college? Central?
I'm from Chattanooga, and I went to Middle Tennessee State University.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you were like, were you looking into being a fine artist? Were you thinking to be a fine artist or illustrator?
I was looking to be a painter of all things.
Yeah, cool. And then
Serious.
you went to New York.
I went to New York, but I started doing puppets when I was in school, just for a goof, just for fun, because I was so sick of the seriousness of the art world. And I wanted to have fun at keg parties, and I wanted to be the center of attention, and I wanted to to perform. And puppets did everything like that. They were like painting and sculpture and performance and punk rock. It was the late 70s. So that's where I started puppets. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other piece of it that I couldn't believe was when you got up to New York and you kind of fell in with like Art Spiegelman and the people from Raw magazine, which when Raw came out, I was 22. I just moved to LA and I was a stand-up, and that one just really rocked my world. I mean, that was the magazine I got consistently. It was kind of like my Mad magazine. And it was incredible. So tell us about how, I mean, number one, were you afraid in New York coming from Chattanooga? Like, were you like fearless? Were you afraid? How did you feel like I could be here? Like, what was going on with you that allowed that?
I was a complete idiot, actually. No, I was very naive. And when you're naive and you don't know about the world, you're invincible and bulletproof. And I was ready to go. I had nothing to lose, nothing. I just graduated from MTSU. I dropped painting like a hot potato when I saw Raw magazine, and that influenced me to move to New York. When I saw Raw, it was like the next wave of underground comics, and it combined the painting energy that I was doing, this hard art energy with comics, and I moved there and I met Art Spiegelman, and I talked my way into being his assistant. I talked my way into being in the class with him. And that's how I got to New York, because of comics and Raw magazine and that. But I kept doing the puppets. I kept doing them at house parties.
Like, what was your bit, man? Like, what I gotta start. I'm worried we're gonna run out of time, so I'm gonna start my timer here, okay? But what was your bit? Like, did you have a thing that you could lean into at a party and you knew would work, or was it just improvised?
I was somewhat improvised. I had a lot of bloody effects. I had eyeballs popping out of heads. I had blood squirting. I had intros. I had fireworks. I had flash powder. Just a bunch of cheap effects, all in the spirit of kind of like this punk rock pace, the late 70s, early 80s. And I just kept doing that. I just had to keep doing it. I was under the spell of Andy Kaufman and Mr. Bill and that kind of anti-puppet energy. But at the same time, I wanted it to be like this uncanny reality, like a Viewmaster, when I saw Viewmasters when I was a kid. And I wanted to present this little portal that people could view. I always saw puppets as like another dimension, just like TV is another dimension. Well, a homemade puppet show is another dimension, And it's like this incredible magic you can make from like cardboard and paint. And
well, if it's magic, you're a wizard now, man. So I want to find out a few of these tricks that you're doing in the hopes that I can steal some of them. But the thing I wanted to ask you too is you were at this nexus of Raw magazine and loft parties and people like art's kind of colliding now with, like you said, punk rock in a way, but also the MTV happens, and MTV is like this sensation, and you're right there, and it's kind of like it's kind of like happening right around you. But this was like a profound moment for people who do what you do.
It was a perfect kind of storm for that. It was a great way to make short little films, a great venue for animation and puppetry and that kind of thing. And I have to say, right as I was getting started as an illustrator and a cartoonist, I got a job back in Tennessee.
I know the name of that. That's Mrs.
I did a local kid show called Mrs. Kabobbles Caboose. I moved back down there in the fall of '85, and I made that show. I built all the sets and made all the puppets. It's kind of like Little Golden Books meet Dr. Caligari,
Well, I got to tell you, I just was looking at that today, and it was so wild because Mrs. Kabobble was like Mrs. Miller, kind of, right? She was just like sitting.
She was a local lady that all the kids love, and she taught music to first graders. It was a 15-minute show, no commercials. They would wheel it into classrooms, and I think it's still playing in some markets in the Southeast, in Kentucky or
Like
something.
there's that moose that you were showing looked like he was like 7. His head was like 6 or 8 feet long, and I'm just like sitting there going, it's so weird. And she's just singing, "Children, this is what a round is," and we're singing in a round, and there's all these weird characters and puppets. It just was like the world was kind of melting.
Yeah,
It was wild.
I definitely brought in my underground comic, German expressionistic art world stuff, you know. And I did that, and I took that portfolio back up to New York City in the winter of '86, and I showed it to Broadcast Arts, and that's how I got the Pee Wee job.
All right, good. And so when we think about what was happening, the story, you know, the way I understand it, and there it is, yeah, man. So it was amazing, and so everyone, I mean, that was one of the things we did with our kids was we went through the entire Pee Wee Herman catalog from beginning to end and watched every single one of them because they were so great. And I want to kind of, if it's okay with you, do you mind cherry picking like the puppets you worked on and the puppets that you performed and stuff like that, so we could kind of understand? Because I know a few of them. I mean, of course, Randy is like profound. And it was like, I just got to tell you, when I saw Randy, I thought that was the show. I thought it was this man who acted like a little kid, and this horrible rough and tumble, like, you know, kind of like this marionette that comes in and gets him into trouble. I thought that was the show. I really did. And it should have been. But I loved Randy so much. Can you tell us how you got to Randy?
Yeah, I thought it should be that way too. Yeah. Well, Paul told me they already had written the scripts, and they needed a little bully named Randy. And so I came up with this character. And this is, I don't know if you can see that, but that's my original drawing for Randy that I did in 1986. And I carved him out of wood. He was a marionette. And I auditioned for the voice, thinking there's no way they're going to give me the job. I'm just an illustrator, cartoonist, you know, art monkey. And they did. Paul gave me the job. He gave me the job as a performer. I got into the Screen Actors Guild, and my career as a television performer was born with Randy. And I made him and performed him on the show, and it was amazing.
Well, one thing about marionettes that I think, I mean, there's so many rules with puppets that you guys violated and kind of deconstructed. And Randy was one of them, because he was basically like a piece of folk art that was on I mean, with marionettes, you're not supposed to have that much string. Like the longer the string is, the less you can control the puppet. So so that's you on the rafter.
That's me up in the rafters.
So how
doing Randy?
Long of a throw is it from your rig to Randy?
It was at least 10, 12 feet. I would have to slowly drop him.
Long way to puppeteer, man.
I would have to slowly feed this line down into the scene without him starting to spin around or go nuts. So it was like this slow, like holding your breath drop, and then you had to hit the mark, and then you had to start talking, and he's like 10, 12 feet below you on these long lines. Yeah, it was.
But that's what made it so great, because you never saw that. You never saw a marionette like hanging in space like that. That's usually like. So again,
he's in his own little theater. Yeah, you never saw him just kind of just drop into reality like that. Yeah.
And Pee-wee's Playhouse, a lot of people don't know this, but Pee-wee's Playhouse started in New York, and that's what really, I think, in some ways there was like this energy to it. I think because the set was smaller,
it was
it was easier to kind of understand. And then when you moved to LA, it was so successful, and they got to expand the world of the show, right? And that's where just tell me the characters that that you worked with and you had an affinity for.
Well, Randy was my favorite, and everybody loves Randy. Dirty Dog was another one of my guys. I wound up designing most of the sets, and I still have all my original drawings. That's my original drawing for Dirty Dog. I designed all the beatniks and everything, but Dirty Dog was my guy. You know, I did him. I liked him a lot because he played bass, you know.
And Chicky Baby, did you design Chicky Baby too?
I designed Chicky Baby, Cool Cat. I designed most of the puppets.
Yeah.
I voiced Dirty Dog, Randy, Mr. Kite, Roger the Monster, you know, and
but I want to ask you about. I want to ask the other. I mean, again, I didn't know this, but we were talking last weekend, and I brought up Flory.
Yeah,
like one of my favorite characters, and I was shocked that you designed Flory.
Yeah, this is my original Flory drawings from the pad here. That's 1987. That's when we moved to LA. Again,
the thinking where I just loved it because he kind of folded up at you, and then he could fold back down, and I think, could you please just explain the way they explained it to you, and you kind of wrecked what they were doing and made it this whole other thing.
Well, the writer George McGrath, who worked on the show, said, I want a piece of floor that talks. And I thought, okay, but he had imagined just a tiny little curl of linoleum peeling up. But I looked at Pee-wee's floor, and it was this jumbled wood grain Western design. So I just went into that wood grain and turn the wood grain, you know, planks into this, you know, cubist face. And George was like,
that's what it is. It's cubism. That's what it is.
Yeah. And George was like, at first, like, oh, I thought it was going to be a piece of linoleum, but then everybody got used to it.
How big was Flory though?
He was pretty big. He was like about 6 feet across and about 4 feet tall, and you had to lay under the set to operate him. A guy named Kevin Carlson did the voice, and me and Kevin would lay under the set and like lift him up. And it was all rods, and it was all creaky, you know, built of these big, dense styrofoam planks. It was great.
It's amazing. And again, it's kind of like, I think, a tribute to Paul Rubens. And Paul Rubens, I've gotten to work with him, and he's fantastic as a comic actor, but he also has a great aesthetic sense. And I think he was really an advocate for artists to do that, because that's not how shows are done in Hollywood. That's just not how they do it. And you could feel it. You could feel it like coming off the screen, every bit of it, like Penny and was that Prudence Fenton that did that?
Prudence was one of the producers of the show.
Yeah, that's right. Right. You worked on Penny, right?
And the guy that does Roger Wallace and Gromit first did Penny.
All right.
But yeah, you're right. Paul was a visionary, a total visionary. And I owe my whole career in television to Paul. He took a chance on me. This guy had never worked in television really before. That was the power of the show. We were a bunch of artists doing our jobs for the first time in a loft downtown New York. It was like a giant art project, you know? And Paul was totally hip to that and totally smart enough to do that. And I have nothing but praise. And Paul's a genius, and he had the vision.
Yeah, that's great. And I wanted to kind of talk about you guys moving, you and Mimi Pond, which she's a wonderful cartoonist too, and Wayne's wife, and you guys met in New York in that whole hipster scene, and somehow made sense out of it. And were you guys already like together when you went to LA? Then did you have it all sorted out, like married and stuff, or what?
Yeah, I met Mimi when we were both cartoonists and illustrators, and then I got a job in TV, and I started working in kids shows. And we went back and forth with Pee-wee for a few years, and then we finally moved and got married in California and moved to LA in 1990.
Right.
And I pretty much jumped into television full time from Pee-wee. That was my big break, you know, and I started doing sets and puppets from then on.
Right. And then again, this is the age of these big videos that were happening, and you got pulled along into that, and also became an art director for some really famous videos. And of course, there's Big Time with Peter Gabriel.
Yes.
And then Tonight with Smashing Pumpkins.
Yes.
And I just wanted to ask you a couple of things. Oh, you got something?
Yeah. This is the spaceship from.
So did you make that?
Yes, I made it. It's a piece of plywood. Painted plywood.
I mean, listen, I just, I see a dichotomy between those two videos. One is Big Time, which is throwing everything at the screen and doing 80 different styles. And then Tonight was really focusing on one style that is very, very well rendered, very articulate, and very singular, which is really homage to George Malaise. And right?
Yes.
And it's like, and it kind of amazed me when I saw it, because everybody has that kind of weird relationship with George Malaise from the first time they see it. It is like you said, that kind of a portal to another world. You feel like you're looking at a dream. But again, those styles are very different. You kind of played both sides of it, where there's that's gorgeously produced, and then Big Time throws everything at the screen. So what? Tell me about those two videos for you.
Well, Big Time was in '87 when I was still doing Pee Wee, and it was directed by Steven Johnson, who directed the Sledgehammer, the video right before that, which it was a sensation. And so they wanted to do kind of a Sledgehammer 2, really, the same like everything. Let's just pile it on. And so I worked with Steven first year of Pee Wee, and he gave me the job as a production designer, and I just piled it on. And Peter Gabriel was another one. I always say, find a good boss. And Peter Gabriel was a great boss. He let me do whatever I wanted. I mean, I couldn't think fast enough for him.
He's another one of those guys that held the door open for a lot of people.
Absolutely. Yeah. Incredible guy.
Yeah.
And nicest rock star I ever worked with, by the way. And we just threw everything in there. That was another dream job, just, I've been so lucky to have these jobs where I can just play, just stretch, just go as crazy as I want to. And that was incredible. And it was of the times too, it was like the peak of music videos, '87, that whole every mixed media kind of craziness. And then the Smashing Pumpkins came almost 10 years later in 1996. And by that time, I'd done a series of history paintings. As you can see this painting here behind me, very realistic, very traditional. I started doing this traditional type of realism, battle scenes, Mississippi River, steamboats, Revolutionary War. I indulged, myself with this style. And the directors, Jonathan Dayton and Valerie Ferris, knew that I painted like this and knew that I had a love for retro styles. And that's how I got the job designing Tonight. And it was my tribute to George Méliès, and of course they did an incredible job of directing it.
Well, listen, we got time now. From that, Wayne has gone on to be a really successful fine artist and does paintings that are in a lot of incredible collections and galleries, and he's been making these pieces since COVID. You made 2 of these pieces that completely knocked me out, and I'd like to run them now. We're almost out of time, but I'd like to run them, and then I want to queue up that we're going to run a video after that. I mean, later in the show that you made with your son Woodrow. Yeah. So we'll talk about that when we get to the other side. I wish we had more time. I'm frustrated because we only got like 2 minutes here. But let's run those 2 videos, and I just want you to see the kind of things he's doing now. And then we'll show, it's a Future Islands video that you did with Woodrow, which is confoundingly great. So let's watch those, Matt. And Mac, yeah, let's go. Love it. Let's see the other one. Oh, yeah. Man, I love it to the moon, man. That feeds my soul, man. So cool. So great. Oh. Hey, so I'm frustrated we don't have more time to talk about it. It's kind of like we don't got to explain it. It's all there. So I'd love to unpack that more. We got to do this again. I would really like to spend more time talking. So we just got to tee up. Can we just tee up a little bit about the Future Islands video that you did with Woodrow? Can you just tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, the band Future Islands approached me and Woodrow about 4 years ago. Nothing really happened. We couldn't get it together. Then they came back again at the beginning of the summer and asked us to do a video for one of their singles from the new record, a song called Born in a War. And they were the greatest to work with. Again, great bosses. They gave me and Woody complete creative freedom. And we made this 4-minute all puppet video, all real time, no CGI, old school puppet video. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll get to that. That's downstream, everybody. Wayne, thank you so much. That was so fun. And I wanted to introduce the next act. We got a bit of a palate cleanser here, a light sorbet of feathery flock from Bird Call. There's Luckle, Duckle, Bird, and Foul Owl.
Well, hello, computer friends. Take a deep breath. Okay. My name is Luckle. I know it's Foul Owl. That's Luckle Duckle Bird. He's holding his breath so he doesn't inhale any of my droplets by accident. But I wanted to explain that I'll be wearing a mask until my test results come back. I'm being safe. I'm being safe. It reminds me of a funny story the other day. But okay. A mask. Just for food.
Yeah. Hey there, guys. So good to see you. I'm not sure you can say droplets on the internet, but we're going to let that pass. Hey, guys, why don't you tell everyone at home about your feathery selves?
Oh, well, hello, I am Luckle Ducklebird, and this is Foul Owl, and we have a radio station called WING here on J. Bird Street in Connecticut, and we send out bird calls across the nation. Yeah. And Foul Owl, would you like me to tell you a little bit about yourself?
Oh, that's so good. Yeah, I'll translate for our friend to keep his droplets.
Actually, would you like me? I'm so sorry, we can't understand you. Oh, no, take off the mask. How about I just translate? How's that sound, Crow?
Yeah, that sounds great. I'm sure you guys look to be really close friends. I'm sure you know exactly what each other are thinking.
That's true. I mean, as close as we can be these days.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, would you like me to? Go ahead. So what Fallon was trying to say is that he has a show on WING, and it's not that great.
Oh, that's too bad.
God, keep your mask on.
Al, why don't you tell us a little bit more about your not so great show?
So what he's saying is that he has the radio show. He talks politics, and he has bored everyone to death. And there have been 7 casualties at this point. Mask.
Oh dear. Oh my goodness gracious. So I actually heard through the grapevine that you guys actually might have some fan questions of your own that you'd like to answer.
Oh, absolutely. We have my Aunt Franny here. Franny, you want to come on in? Yeah. Crow, this is Frances Birdley.
Oh, hello.
Hello. What are you doing? Your test results came in. You're negative.
I'll say.
No. He's negative.
Are you positive?
I'm positive. He's negative.
Oh.
Hello. You can take off your mask.
Are you positive?
I'm positive.
Wait, you're ill?
No. I'm sick. Hello. You're not ill. I'm not ill. No one here is ill. Our test results were. Just go take off.
I'll take one mask. All right, I'm good.
Anyway, Franny, Crow said you have some questions from Twitter.
Yes. We have some tweets.
Some tweets. That's convenient.
Okay. Here's for Ollie from Albuquerque says, tweet. Oh, tweet.
Oh, well, that's a very personal question. Oh. But Crow, I'm going to answer it here live on the air.
Oh, an exclusive.
Exclusive. The answer is no, and Fallow only likes 2.
Oh.
Yes, you said my name. I've got my mask off. Healthy again. And you're right, I got the email and I was negative, but I did test positive for halitosis. Which explains why it stinks in here.
I'm out of here. Goodbye.
Oh my gracious. Maybe we should just move this along. Is there anyone else there at that bird call radio station that you'd like to introduce?
Must be somebody.
We have our good pal Kufu, who is the news and weather bird here at WING. You want to showcase a little bit of that? Oh, look at that. What's with the plugs?
These are our shameless plugs.
There they are. There are those shameless plugs. Oh my goodness, you guys, this was so great. This was really just a true pleasure to get to know you and your radio station. Aren't you guys so excited that all these people are watching you right now?
Wait. Crow. People are watching this?
Oh yeah. We're streaming live to probably, goodness, at least a few thousand people.
Human people?
Yeah, those human people.
Yeah, we birds are not allowed to talk to humans. It's against our bird union code, you see.
We
thought you were a bird. We saw the big beak.
Yeah, and your name's Crow.
My name is Crow.
Oh no! Oh, my sweet feathered friends. No, I am but a simple golden god. I am not a bird. I was built by a human, and we are streaming live to thousands upon thousands of humans. Right now.
Crow, it was very nice talking to you. I think it's time that we should. Actually, I can't deal with this. Thank you so much.
I thought you guys got my email about that. Sorry about that, bird call guys. So you humans out there, you heard nothing. You just saw some birds squawking and making weird noises. But I have the absolute pleasure to introduce our next guest, the bright new talent that's taken the role of MST3K host and turned it on its ear. He's the star of 20 feature-length MST3K experiments on Netflix. He's rated 100% fresh in our hearts. He's none other than Mr. Jonah Ray.
Hello, Crow. Good to see you again.
Hey, you're looking sharp, bud.
Well, I'm just trying. I was afraid people might not recognize me, and so I had to dress up as the Jonah Heston character, which, as I'm sure you know, is so different from the real Jonah Ray.
Oh yeah, indistinguishable, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just not even close. Anywhere close. How
Not
are
at
you,
all.
sir? I'm glad to have you here.
Glad to be here. Very excited. I love having something to do.
Oh, don't we all?
You're looking shiny, Crow. What you been doing? What's your regiment been?
Oh, just like some turtle wax.
Yeah. Turtle wax?
Yeah, just turtle wax.
That's it, huh?
That's all you need. That's
But
all
who's
one
doing
needs, really.
you? But what about the hard to reach spots? How you getting the whole?
Oh, I can reach them. Oh, I can reach them. I can reach all the spots.
You dirty bird.
No problem at all.
I miss you,
Just
buddy.
establish I am not a bird.
I
am a
I know you're not a bird. I know you're not a bird. But you're a dirty bird.
Oh yeah, and then some.
Okay, there's kids watching.
Yeah, we should probably stop. No, it's after 10 o'clock. We're okay.
Okay, good. I can swear all I want then. Fart,
take it away.
fart,
Perfect.
poop, poopy farts, farty poops, and of course the rest.
And the rest. Just like Gilligan's Island.
yeah.
Welcome to Jonah's Island.
What's this? What's this and the rest crap? Is it time for me to start my my talk? It is.
Take it away, sir.
Oh boy, take it away, toys. Hello everybody. Thank you so much, Crow, for the introduction. My name is Jonah Ray, and I'm going to be talking to J. Elvis Weinstein right there. I'm going to be talking to Bill Corbett. I'm going to be talking to Joel Hodgson, who will pop up.
Hello.
And there we are. Look at us. Wave. Brady Bunch wave to everybody. Whichever. You're never really sure where you are in a Zoom, are you?
That's right.
Yeah. So we're looking at right now the Star Trek generations of Mystery Science Theater, where you got people from all eras right here in front of me, and it's a real treat. How you guys doing?
Good. I'm a hologram, by the way.
Did Kanye make you for your wife's birthday?
Yeah. I'm going to talk about really embarrassing private functions of your yeah.
It's kind of better than the Kenny G with the candle room thing, though, isn't it?
What?
Didn't he hire Kenny G for her last birthday?
Oh, that's right. He put rose petals everywhere,
Rose
right?
petals.
And then
man, yeah. That
If we
seems
only-
like a
The candle room was
like
my
a divorce
fantasy.
announcement to me.
Joel, we're talking about current pop culture icons, Kim Kardashian and Kanye West.
I saw some of that. Yeah. I know that people are concerned because she's flew everyone to an island. I saw it. Yeah.
Well, she just wanted to have some semblance of normalcy.
Joel, I just assume that's where you're broadcasting from.
The island. Yeah. Kim, we'll be right over. We're part of, you become a plaything of the rich at a certain point.
Yeah.
Celebrity.
We all are.
Yeah. That's what we do.
So you guys, I believe it's now, if I'm not mistaken, J. Elvis, you've known Joel since you were in high school, correct?
Yeah, 15 years old.
15 years old. You were some
Over 10
wonderkin.
years.
You're just you're a wonderkin in the comedy scene of Minneapolis.
He really was, man. He was a great joke writer when he was 15 years old.
Well,
he really was.
And J. Elvis, did other comics in the scene hate you for that?
Not out loud.
But you could feel it though, can't you?
You can feel it occasionally when the drinking started. But no, I mean, one of the things that I loved about it was that people treated me like a peer very quickly, and so I was like, I found my world. I'm here.
Yes,
that's Minnesota too. I think like the idea that wasn't even an issue. Like, let him do it if he can do time. Go for it,
Yeah, and I wasn't doing any. I didn't look like I was a kid, and I wasn't doing material about being 15, so I wasn't rubbing it in anyone's face.
It was the smoking jacket and the little fez you wore.
Yeah,
I mean,
I might as well have I smoked and drank scotch when I was 15.
Yeah, the thing he said about Josh was he drinks scotch that's older than he is.
Well, and I'll tell you the reason now is because I would always drink like single malt scotch when I would go out with people, because why would a 16-year-old order Glenlivet? You know?
Oh, yeah. So you found like you were like, one Glenlivet, please.
Yes.
One
exactly.
sifter of my favorite alcohol beverage.
I once
From
taught Joe. I
Scotland.
literally once at a Mystery Science Theater party when we had just started up the Comedy Central show. I literally taught Joel the difference between good scotch and bad scotch because Comedy Central was paying that night. So I just like, bring me one of these and a Cutty Sark. Now, Joel, you know.
That's why Comedy Central, when they put down a tab for a party, you really have to spend it because the money.
We did.
Yeah, we had that with the Meltdown where our line producer said, like, the party was almost over, and he came up to Kumail and I, and he was just like, we still have $300 left on our tab. And we're like, whatever, we'll just get shirts. They're like, no, it has to be paid. It has to be paid to the bar. And we're like, what do we do? He's like, well, we're all gonna get shots of Pappy Van Winkle, I think is the
yeah.
which is like it was like $30 a shot.
What is Van Winkle?
A scam.
It sort of is, but it's a bourbon that everybody. I think they keep it in some sort of managed shortage, so the people are always trying to get it. But
yeah. So when Bill, you were living in New York, and then when did you move to Minneapolis? What year?
I moved in 1990, and
so the show was already going on.
It was already going on, and I just became aware of it when I was here. Well, it's kind of starting up and getting famous around the time I got here, and just because it's not a huge scene here, and because a lot of the arts and culture stuff intermingles, probably more than in a bigger, scene like LA. I just started to know people, and a couple of the people at MST3K took some of my writing classes, which is kind of makes me blush to think about it now.
Big city New Yorker coming over here to Minnesota teaching people how to
Yale playwright.
Hey, Fargo, sit down and write Act One. Yeah, but it really worked out for me here. I started working as an actor at the Guthrie Theater. So I was sort of like a theater nerd to begin with, but it was sort of comedy adjacent. I did a lot of sketch work and stuff. And I just got to know the people, and we found each other eventually.
Isn't that, I mean, that's the thing I've always really liked about Mr. Science Theater, and of course getting like my thoughts on it, and then of course getting to experience it. It is really, like you said, it is that kind of thing that doesn't happen in a bigger city, because it is like a bunch of different creative art forms. Like it's like, there's sketch acting, there's movie riffing, of course, which is the bulk of it, but there's prop making, there's music, there's all these different things. It's like
also no unions.
Yeah. Good Bernie. But it's that that's something that I've always really enjoyed about it, because it's like, as someone, and I think that's like what like a lot of like kind of cool creative people, like a lot of Misties out there, they like. It's like they like comedy, they like sci-fi movies or weird movies, they like music, and is that and knowing all of you personally, you guys all have those very same interests. Like you're all very like, it's like last time I saw Jay Elvis, I mean, I guess this was like a year or two ago now, but we ran into each other at the Elvis Costello show.
That's right. Yes, it's I mean, I think we all brought just this wide universe of stuff, all the stuff that was stuck in our head to the table, and there was at different points there was different Venn diagrams, I think, of the people in the room.
This is and also is pre-internet. It's kind of like now it's just so available, and back in the day it was almost like what's the Bradbury book, Fahrenheit 415, where you're kind of the embodiment of your information. You kind of like walk around and go, yeah, I know about Frank Zappa, or I know about Ray Harryhausen, so everybody kind of traded on what they kind of knew about, but you kind of had to, you kind of manage that. And now it's just, oh yeah, everything is online. So it kind of shifted over the life of the show. It's kind of changed. And so, but that was really what was going on. Like people would throw in what they loved, and there was so much room in the show for everything. So you could kind of get stuff in all the time.
Yeah, that's oh, hello. It's Matt McGinnis. Hello, Matt.
Hello, Matt McGinnis.
I get a lot of compliments on the mask design you made of the pumpkins. I get a lot of compliments on that.
I'm very glad that you bought that, Jonah. Thank you so much.
It was the last of my money, but it went to a great cause.
Oh, thank you. Right to my wallet. I hate
Let's
to
talk
interrupt-
after. Let's talk after this, Joan. I can
let's.
Venmo you a little.
Yes, we'll do that after. I'm so sorry to
deserve
interrupt you guys. We are about halfway through the interview, so Jonah, I would kindly ask if you could ask our viewers to make a real heartfelt plea, to donate to MIGIZI. We're trying to get to about 50,000, and we're so close. So if you could just, say something from the heart about
Put
MIGIZI.
a little mustard on it.
Wow,
Yeah.
I mean, I
Look
really,
in your heart, as John Turturro says, and
I was
Miller's
really
Crossing.
wasn't really planning on doing like a speech or anything, but I guess I'll just say something, right from the old heart bag, as it were. I think it's about love, and it's about friendship, and it's about giving. I also think it's about movie riffing and hilarity and friendship. I said friendship, love, and movie riffing. But I really think over all that, you should give $5 to MIGIZI. That's the best I can come up with, really. I just
I love it. Let's go to the Topor, you guys. See
Yeah.
what we're at.
And let's check it on out.
Yeah, thanks, Jonah.
Oh, so close.
So close.
Man, nice.
Yeah,
Bring
only
those
$6.
It was all thanks to that heartfelt speech.
Keep it rolling.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jonah's heart.
Thank
Heart
you,
bag.
Jonah.
Heart bag.
You never saw Jerry Lewis have to go, okay, refresh it.
You have to have the undone tuxedo and the flop sweat all over you.
Send in the clowns. That's great. So yeah, keep on donating. MIGIZI is a great foundation, and thanks, Joel, for putting this whole thing together.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Yeah, I mean, this is not like really an interview for you guys, but did you guys see the trailer for the Zappa documentary by Alex Winter?
No,
I have not seen it. No,
It's out right now. There's a documentary Alex Winter made about Zappa, and it looks great. But I just wanted to throw that out there because there's a lot, because Zappa, even now, like Joel, you helped out with Alex Winter's campaign, I believe, for that documentary.
Yeah. I think I donated something. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But Zappa was a real patriot. He really believed in people, kind of speaking their minds, and he was just really important. And so I was happy to do it. Yeah.
So you guys worked on a couple shorts together for this.
We're gonna show them next. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to talk about those. It's how was that? It's J Elvis. It's is this the first time you came back to riff on something and writing riffs, doing the thing? Was that when was the last time you did that?
Well, we did Cinematic Titanic, so the actual riffing thing was not.
Yeah, but that was that was still, I think at this point, got to be 8 years ago.
It's going on a long time.
Yeah.
But we did do 100 shows. That's the thing. Over a period of 6 years, we did.
Yeah, even more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Road Warriors.
Yeah.
But but this is the first time I've riffed as Servo since I was 18 years old. So. And I'm nearly 50 now.
Well, you don't look a day over 49.
We're talking body age, Josh.
Body age?
Yeah, body age.
My body age is not on the charts, really.
I'm just joking, man.
Was it fun though? Was it fun to kind of Joel, you've kind of worked with the show, the new touring crew, which is great, and then our era with the Netflix shows, and was it kind of fun to kind of get together with these two guys to like,
Yeah,
it was like, was there any kind of different feeling of it or any kind of different magic that was there?
I actually learned a lot watching them again because there's such style. I mean, there's like style within each kind of person. And so watching the way they did it again after, some years was really, really great. And they each kind of, I mean, they dropped into it so fast. I mean, that was what kind of amazed me is how fast it happened. And we did it all remotely. I mean, the thing is Josh was in LA. I'm in the East Coast. Bill's in the Midwest. We recorded it all live and went through it. And then it was its own pass. And then we added the silhouettes later. And the people who did the silhouettes were in New York and Florida and Pennsylvania. So it was kind of like remote. And so it was just again, MIGIZI gave us this chance to experiment with this and it turned out great. We were really happy with it, but I just I wanted to thank both Bill and Jay Elvis for throwing in. And from what I've seen, people love it. The people who donated have been raving about it all day. They got to watch it today. So everybody's loving it so far. So I wanted to thank you guys for that.
Awesome.
That's great. Yeah,
so
Bill.
It was very fun to do it, and a great reason to do it, and it didn't feel like doing a Mystery Science Theater episode because of all of what you just described, but like you said, I've met Joel when I was 15, so we have, we've bursted creative energy with each other, like once a decade at least for several in a row now.
It's time, Joel.
Yeah. The sun's low. Time to meet up with Joel Hodgson somewhere on the internet.
Oh yeah, it's I always feel like the path loops back at least every once in a while, so that you can reconnect.
Well, Josh and I have gotten to know each other very well over the. I don't know. I don't want to be presumptive, Josh.
I
maybe
consider
not
you
very
a
well,
genuinely good friend, Bill.
I do too. And we hang out, whenever I'm in LA. But we've never actually worked together. Joel and I managed to do like the reunion show and a couple of things, but I've never actually worked with Josh. So it was really cool. Even if we were in our own damn rooms yet again,
right?
At least we hooked up in a sense.
Yeah,
so
I never met Bill until the 20th anniversary reunion at Comic-Con.
I was there. I was in the room. I lied so hard to some security guy in a side door, being like, I happen to have a thumb drive on me. And so I was like, I went to the guy, I was like, I got to get in there. And he's like, sorry, man, line's back that way. I was like, I work for Shout Factory and I have this thumb drive. And this is a pre-play. The whole thing won't work unless you let me in there. And the guy, I don't think he believed me, but he just didn't want to bother with an angry nerd. So he was like, I don't care. And then I walked in.
You have the authority of tallness.
Commitment wins sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. Bill, going back into getting back into the crow, did you find yourself affecting your voice? Because it's like with riff tracks, you really because you kind of used your regular voice. I noticed it like a pitch down.
Yeah,
in riff tracks. Did you find yourself pitching back up for doing crow for the shorts?
It's all weird because there's so much context around it, which is yet again me, talking to my laptop in my own office again. So I don't have that natural expansion of when I'm around other people, but it felt sort of appropriate to be in this highly sensitive mic, not to blow it out. So I tried to keep it playful, but not go overboard on the early version of my crow, which was a little too much like, hey, I'm Trace too.
Yeah, well, I'm different.
I'm different.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. I think we're getting ready to show the shorts, right, Joel?
That's right. We got to throw. I think we throw to Emily and GPC. Thank Bill, Jay Elvis. Thanks you guys from the bottom of my heart. That's so
pleasure.
Great.
Thank you, and thanks to everyone who donated.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing this, Joel.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, good to see you too, Jay Elvis.
Guys.
Just you and me now, bud.
Well. So we meet again. Well, that was amazing and so informative. Thank you, fine gentlemen. And now Emily Marsh, who's been so patient. Time for more of her famous pumpkins from Filmland.
Thanks, GPC. Maestro, please. Famous pumpkins of Filmland, Ginger Division. Prince Harry, take off the wig. It's just a prince. Donald Trump, enough said. Who else? Oh, well, this one is tall, so that's Conan O'Brien. All right. This is clearly Carrot Top. And then this one is Nicole Kidman. And, oh yeah, here's the 8 is Enough Gang with Dick Van Pumpkin. Call back. Okay, more famous pumpkins of Filmland to come. Thank you.
Wow. You've really built quite a life for yourself, haven't you, Emily?
Thank you.
No, thank you, Emily. And now for the first short you've all been waiting for. Thank you folks so much for donating, and you still can go to mst3k.org for more info. We also want to thank our writers, performers, producers for donating their talent. And we've donated almost $50,000, and we can still get there. But first, behind the scenes at the supermarket. Roll tape.
Oh, we got a movie star!
Always encouraging when a film begins with a shot of the floor of your garage.
Behind the scenes at the supermarket.
You won't believe what they consider cheese these days.
Wait, if Joseph is lesser, why does he get top billing, huh?
Supermarket or prison, you decide.
Mayfair, as in you may fare better at Whole Foods.
It's early in the morning before this large supermarket opens for customers.
And these two have come to rob the place. They're professional fruit
I'm
thieves.
the manager of the supermarket.
No autographs, please.
And this is my son, Johnny.
Johnny is fascinated by keys.
This morning, I'm going to show Johnny what goes on behind the scenes here before the day's business can begin.
Ugh, if this doesn't change him, then I give up.
A supermarket is like many little markets or departments, all brought together into one big building.
Super.
Each department sells a different kind of food.
After today, son, you will believe it's not butter.
Now I'm Dr. Dad.
One of my jobs, I tell Johnny, is to see that the market has plenty of food to sell.
Dad, will I always look like Pete Davidson?
I must also see that all the people who work in the market know what to do, and that they do their jobs well.
So let's open the sleep chamber and let them out.
My first job in the morning is to open the door to the rear loading platform where deliveries to the market are made.
Kid has a little ski jump in his hair.
Good. Now you hold that until the store closes, Johnny.
Watch this truck backing in, Johnny. It's bringing some of the food the market will sell.
Sodium nitrate, MSG, all the major food groups.
Yum.
Here's a man unloading vegetables and fruit from a vegetable or produce truck.
This guy says vegetables like he's playing it on a snare drum.
The vegetables and fruit are taken to a storage room in the back of the market. Here they are cleaned.
And the extra syllables removed.
It takes a great deal of work to prepare the vegetables, so they will be clean enough to sell to customers.
Wash them with tap water and ungloved hands, check.
From the inside of this truck, a roller track carries cartons of canned and paper goods into the market.
Webster's unabridged toilet paper?
I'm helping.
Oh, Johnny.
Got it.
A moving belt inside the building carries the cartons to a second-floor storage room.
It also contains luggage lost on Delta flights.
Here, they are taken off the belt and stacked on storage shelves until needed.
Son, these will be waiting for you when the Ruskies finally drop the big one, and it's your job to repopulate the Earth. Good luck, son.
Johnny watches boxes of frozen food being unloaded from a refrigerated truck. One of my helpers explains that a refrigerated truck is like a large icebox on wheels.
Or like an igloo that has a teamster instead of an Eskimo inside.
This is the market's frozen food locker. Frozen food from the truck is put inside this locker room to be kept frozen until it is needed for customers.
Oh, off to the boy weighing station.
This truck is refrigerated too. In it, big pieces of meat are brought to the market. The meat is hung on hooks from an overhead slide, so it can be easily moved.
Yep, I live in a nightmare.
The meat is pushed into a refrigerated room to be kept cold and fresh until it is ready to be cut up for sale.
Which one is the gangster who squealed, Dad? Friggin' rat!
Mr. Dale, my meat department manager, shows us the meat he is going to cut today.
So this morning, this was a living thing? Got it.
In the meat cutting room, the meat is cut to prepare it for sale.
Meat is cut in the meat cutting room, so what happens in the cheese cutting room, Dad? It's a joke, Dad.
This meat has been ground into hamburger. The cut and ground meat travels on rollers to the packaging and weighing room.
Remember this as you fall asleep tonight.
Oh, it must be Mrs. Lovett.
Oh, my hernia!
In this room, packages of meat are made ready for selling.
Where's Johnny?
Since food must be kept very clean, the packages are carefully wrapped and labeled. They are covered with cellophane and then sealed with a hot iron.
Each one is given just a smidge of bacteria.
Hot iron!
Seal up the meat. Beef brisket is a summery treat.
Each package is weighed, and the weight and price are marked on the label.
Oh, brother, I can't be the only one here who knows how to do math.
Finally, the wrapped meat is ready to be put into a refrigerated display case in the front of the market. From it, customers may choose what they want. This case keeps the meat cold and fresh until it is ready to be taken home.
This is where Phil Spector got the idea for the wall of beef sound.
The vegetables are taken from their storage room as they are needed and attractively arranged in the display cases in front of the market. Many different kinds of vegetables, and fruit too, are displayed.
Oh yeah, golden apples, Macintosh apples, Fiona apples.
Gallagher's been kicked out of this store so many times.
That's tough.
This chute carries cartons of canned and paper goods from their upstairs storage room to the market's main floor.
I had no idea gravity was such an important facet of the grocery industry.
Cans of food are put on the shelves. The price is stamped on each can, so the customers and the cashiers at the checkout stands will know how much each costs.
Would someone please invent the UPC symbol?
The packages of frozen food are also placed in a refrigerated display case. Many different kinds of frozen foods are offered for sale.
But it's mostly spinach. I mean, we got way too much spinach, I'll admit it. Somebody goofed. A lot of spinach.
Meanwhile, I check on some signs needed for tomorrow's sale.
Make it say girls, girls, girls.
I tell my sign maker what the sale price will be. The signs will be used in the windows of the market.
Yeah, I don't think the word fancy needs to be fancy, Bob.
Back in my office, Johnny sees some of the other work necessary to help run the market.
Dad, I don't think you're driving the workers hard enough. Come on, crack the whip!
This is my secretary.
Meow.
She's working on the sales record of yesterday's business. I must know how much food was sold the day before, so I can order more if it is needed.
Blanche, this isn't inventory, it's Sudoku.
This is my bookkeeper. She's adding up some bills for me to pay.
I owe some money to some very bad people, Johnny.
Now, Johnny, how would you like to open the market?
Wow.
Just push this buzzer.
I'm sorry, Johnny, that's incorrect.
The doors are open. Here come the customers.
Brains, juicy brains.
One of the first customers to come in this morning is Johnny's mother.
They've never met. Let's watch.
She's come to do her shopping and to pick up Johnny while I go back to work.
I'll probably just point at stuff.
As they shop, Johnny tells his mother what he's learned about the supermarket.
I helped Daddy bust up a union.
How the big trucks come every day, bringing different kinds of food to the backloading platform.
This will haunt him the rest of his natural-born days.
How the vegetables are cleaned.
Not very well, is what he learns.
How the meat is cut and wrapped to keep it clean.
Or clean-ish.
Yeah, in the ballpark.
How the clerks put the food in the display cases and arrange it on the shelves. What the office workers do.
And how Dad just points.
Point.
And some of the things I must do before the customers arrive.
Like drink heavily in the bathroom.
Johnny and his mother have completed and paid for their shopping. Today, Johnny's learned that a great many things go on behind the scenes of a supermarket.
You two head on home before my other family shows up.
Groceries.
Fun.
Oh no.
Hi! My name's Tom Servo, and I'm going as Jason for Halloween.
Very nice. And I could be any number of things. An angel, a butterfly. I don't know what else. A lantern bug, I guess. Yeah, a lantern bug. Crow.
And I'm Willie the Waffle. Waffles.
And we've got dressed up to introduce some really special guests. Please welcome Jacob Vang, Marketing and Communications Coordinator, and Melissa Olson, Development, Operations, and Programs Administrator for MIGIZI. And they will give a little insight into how your dollars are going to help them and the youth in Minneapolis. Take it away!
Hi, everyone. Jacob here from MIGIZI with my teammate, Melissa Olson.
Hi, everybody.
Firstly, I'd like to thank all you all for your support and donations on behalf of the MIGIZI community. We had a great summer with our youth and are grateful to our community partners that allowed us to focus not on the tragedy of our building, but the success of our future leaders.
Yeah, and I just want to talk a little bit about what's going to happen this coming fall. We start programming across our programs on November 9th. So both in our first person productions programming, green jobs programming, and academic support that's actually ongoing. So that's going to start up again. We're looking forward to that. And we are looking forward to this next part of our story where we are hopefully going to be renovating another building in the same neighborhood that we've been in for a long time, really, many years, 4 decades. So we are so grateful to you all for helping us raise money to be able to do that. The dollars that we raise here with the Misties will help us do that renovation and move into the future. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you, bots. Thank you guys so much. And now, in a completely wonderful transition, let us move into more famous pumpkins of Filmland. Maestro.
Emily. Maybe not. We need to go to the tote board. Tote board, Matt.
Okay.
Just save it.
Oh! Well.
We've surpassed $50,000, which means you Misties have unlocked a new awesome level of awesomeness. Yes, we're at $50,841, which means we've raised almost $7,000. Let's take it up to 55. Why not, right?
Let's do it. Yay!
Yeah. Thanks, Emily. And as you know, this is the second year for Puppet Camp, hence the name Puppet Camp 2. Back to the hand, and each puppet camp has a heartfelt moment when we light the ceremonial puppet fire. And we'd like to ask our friends at Anhedonia to please proceed.
Good afternoon, campers, and welcome to our segment.
Hi, I'm Artie from the web series Welcome to Anhedonia, and this is Scram from a recently canceled Quibi series.
They still haven't paid me. Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah. Who out there in Puppet Land is excited for Halloween?
Me!
Thank you, Artie. Artie and I are getting measurements taken for our costumes. I'm going to be zombie coronavirus.
And I'm going to be sexy coronavirus, stuffed in a mail-in ballot.
Brilliant, Artie. Sexy and topical.
Hey there, fellas. I couldn't help but hear you talking about Halloween.
Oh, hey, look at this cute little guy. Oh, I bet nobody expected he'd be a character.
We rehearsed this extensively, and I'm still blown away.
Yeah.
Say, fellas, I'm just a wee baby pumpkin, fresh to the world. This is my first Halloween, and I don't know what my costume should be.
Aw, don't worry, little guy. Scram and I are here to help you.
That's right, and there's only one thing for an adorable little pumpkin like you to be on Halloween.
Oh, there he is.
There is! A jack-o'-lantern!
I've never heard of a jack-o'-lantern.
Well, you just stay right there, pumpkin, and me and Artie are going to tell you all about it. Isn't that right, Artie?
That's right.
We're gonna make you a jack-o'-lantern.
A jack-o'-lantern?
A jack-o'-lantern. We're gonna make you a jack-o'-lantern. It's so much fun to do.
To you.
First, we're gonna take a knife,
A sharp knife.
a big sharp knife. First, we'll take a big sharp knife and stick it in your head.
Your
Then
what?
with the knife we'll cut a hole.
A circle hole, a big round hole.
And when we've gone and cut the hole,
We'll pull apart your scalp.
Oh,
That's how we
goodness.
make you a jack-o'-lantern. A jack-o'-lantern. That's how we make you a jack-o'-lantern. It's so much fun to do.
to you. Next we'll take a metal scoop.
A round scoop.
A round metal scoop.
And with that cold round metal scoop, we'll scoop out all your guts.
But what about me seeds? Surely they get a chance to grow in the earth and become little baby pumpkins?
We'll take your seeds out of your guts to season them.
We'll pan fry them, and when we've cooked up all your seeds, we'll
Throw
throw
away
away
the seeds.
No one likes to eat the seeds.
No.
That's how we make you a jack-o'-lantern.
I've never seen
A
parrots.
jack-o'-lantern. That's how we make you a jack-o'-lantern. It's so much fun for us, not you.
What's next, Artie?
Next we're gonna stab your face.
We'll cut an eye.
We'll cut another eye. We'll cut a nose and then a mouth and fill you with baby rats.
Yeah!
Then we'll add more baby rats.
And even more.
And more baby rats. And then they'll fuse together at their tails and become a
Rat King.
Play a solo, keyboard rat.
As bad as this was, the rat stuff feels like a real serious left turn.
I like to spice things up, keep it fresh, you know. Go do your dance, European disco dancer.
Whoa! Artie! This is amazing! You're just full of surprises!
You should see what I did to the koi pond out back. The koi are not happy. Finally,
poke the rats. Make 'em angry rats. Set fire to the rats. You'll be full of angry birdie rats And engulfed in flames. Woo! That's how we make you a jack-o'-lantern.
I can smell it
A
already.
jack-o'-lantern. That's how we make you a jack-o'-lantern. And you are gonna hate it.
Sha! What a song!
Hey, hold on there, fellas. Maybe instead of eating something different, like Ernie from Sesame Street. Wouldn't that be clever, eh?
Absolutely not. This is written in stone.
Get ready to die, you adorable sweetheart.
Wait, Artie. This pumpkin has a weird bump on it.
A bump?
Yeah, a tiny, almost imperceptible, but unsightly bump right there.
Why didn't you tell us, Pumpkin? What good are you to us, all bumpy?
Yeah, let's get out of here, Artie. Let's go find a better pumpkin to murder.
What do we do with this crappy one?
Let's just leave him here. Some teens will probably come along and smash him in an hour anyway.
Oh, well, if I've learned anything, it's that emptiness is loneliness. And loneliness is cleanliness. And cleanliness is godliness. And God is empty, just like me.
Who left this garbage bumpy pumpkin in my workspace?
Oh! Oh no! No, I'm burned to death anyway! Oh, never realized my true potential! What a tragedy! What a world! What a world!
Ba-da-da-da-ba-da-da. Fire! We lit the campfire.
It's on fire.
It's on fire.
Fire!
Fire. Well, hope you like it.
I'm not dead yet.
Wow. Thank you, Anhedonia. Thank you, Jack-o'-lantern. And thank you, Puppet Fire. Now it is officially the second annual Puppet Camp. Puppet Camp 2, no strings attached. And I will now go prepare the puppet goat. I'm just kidding. It's a celebration of fun. Oh, nothing. Enjoy your Puppet Camp. Here's Wayne and Widrow White with their video for a song, Born in a War by Future Islands. Here, Fluffy. Come here, Fluffy. Come here, Fluffy.
Start my video, man. Hey, Matt, can you hear me?
So temporary. Life's work don't pay that way. Life's more than cash and carry. Pull your gun, steal your grave. Is it too much to carry? Is it too much to ask you why I have a sinking feeling I know why? I have a sinking feeling I know. Born to an insensitive fool you've been damned by. You swear that when a strong man cries, when a strong man dies. Raised up in a town that's steady cool. Shotgun shells under every roof, every chain. Didn't learn a lot from public school. All our books went off to wars they could sell. carry? Is it too much to run and hide? And what's too much to bury? Is it too much to ask you why? I have a sinking feeling I know why. I have a sinking feeling I know. For you, an impossible dream you've been damned by. You swear that when a strong man cries, when a strong man dies, you're scared that when a strong man cries, when a strong man dies. But a strong man cries. A strong man cries. Just look into the strong man's eyes. Look into the strong man's eyes. Look into a strong man's eyes. Look into a strong man's eyes. Down that said, ooh. Look into a strong man's eyes. Under every room. Bloody hell.
Hey, that was wonderful. Wayne, Jan, Woodrow, Jan.
Yeah.
You guys, hey.
Hey.
Hey, Woody, say something. Is your camera
Hi.
on?
Hello?
Hey, how's it going? Can you see? Hey,
There
man.
he is.
How's
Can
it
you hear
going?
me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see you.
Okay,
Thank
okay.
you. Hey, that was really cool, you guys. And I obviously the thing we have to say to everybody is vote, right? That's the number one thing. Get out there and vote. And of course,
vote.
that was really
Vote.
lovely. And I want to ask you, of course, the burning question is, what's it like to work with your old man, Woody?
It was fun. It was, you know, we've been working on things together since I was a small child. So, you know, this felt like more of the same, but you know, professionally.
We used to make videos together when he was like 3-4 years old.
Wow, cool. And Woodrow, what other kind of stuff are you working on right now?
I'm working at Nickelodeon right now as a visual development artist.
Cool.
I'm gonna
Anything
do,
we can
Teenage
talk
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh wait, what? Go ahead. What was that?
I'm working on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
Ah, awesome. Very cool. And Woody's
That's as much as I can say.
Yeah, Woody's a hell of a designer. So I've been a fan of his since I guess when we met, you were all going off to college, you know, and already he was a really good painter. So I'm looking forward to see what you're going to be doing. And Wayne, same question to you. What's it like working with your kid?
It's great because he's freaking brilliant. He's a great artist. I've known that since he was 2 years old. He could draw a parrot when he was 2 years old. A parrot. I can't even draw a parrot now.
I don't even know what a parrot is. That's how much further he is than we are.
No kidding. We've been making pictures and movies and stuff together since he could hold a pencil. So it's great.
Cool. And I want to mention too, you know, Mimi Pond is a brilliant comic book artist, Wayne's wife. And is Lulu still in the visual arts too? Is she doing it too?
She is. She totally is. She's making sculptures and paintings. And we did a video earlier this year for Waltzer, a band out of Chicago. And I hope to do some more videos with her. She's an incredible sculptor and an artist.
Well, we're so grateful to have you guys on Puppet Camp this year, and great to see you, Woody. Thanks, Wayne, and we'll see you. Thanks again. It was really great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joel. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. See you around.
Thanks, Joel.
Thanks, man. See you, Woody. All right. Well, now I've got a special guest, and she's a writer and producer for Mystery Science Theater, the shows we did on Netflix. And she's currently working with us to develop MST3K.org. We really encourage you to check it out. We started it during COVID as a project to just kind of get in touch with the fan base again. And I couldn't think of anybody better to do this. So I'd love you to meet Leslie Kinzell, please. Leslie, how's it going?
Hi, Joel, and hi, everybody watching.
I'm just going to let you do your thing and talk a little bit, and then I'll pick up when you're done, okay?
Yeah, no, great. I just kind of wanted to say greetings and salutations to everyone watching. As Joel said, my name is Leslie Kinzell, and I am heading up our new at MST3K.org, which is our work in progress official community site, where you'll be able to get a little more insidery access to the goings on behind the scenes in MST3K. And I hope to create a space where all of you as a community so connect each other. Said the site is a work in progress right now, and if you head over to MST3K.org, you'll see that it's fairly no frills at this point, but we have some really cool plans for the future. The big project that we're doing right now is the Turkey Day tournament. And so yes, if you haven't heard, Turkey Day is going to be back as a streaming event for 2020. And this year, we are inviting all of you to vote on the episodes that we show. We started this process 2 weeks ago with an initial pool of 24 episodes. I had the honor of selecting that starting lineup from the available streaming options, because obviously we can't pull just, willy-nilly. We need to take stuff that we have the rights to. And it was not an easy thing to do. It was a challenge. But I took it very seriously. And since then, we have had daily votes going up on MST3K.org. Some of these races have been really surprising, and some of them were a lot closer than I expected them to be. Like there are certain episodes that I kind of expected to just blow away the competition, and they, actually had some pretty tight battles. So it's been kind of exciting. So I definitely encourage all of you to check it out and make your opinions known. We still have another 2 weeks of voting roughly left to do. So even if you haven't joined before now, it's not too late to be a part of it. And definitely keep an eye out for the awesome things to come.
Thanks so much, Leslie. We really appreciate your help. Thanks. And I also wanted to mention, we just got a new moderator at our Twitch channel named Jacob Beardsley. And so we're going to be working closely with him as time goes on. So we're really looking forward to that as well. And here's GPC and Emily. GPC and Emily.
There we
Hey, Joel.
Hey.
Hi. Thanks, Joel. Now, I know you guys were worried. I'm almost out of my famous pumpkin of Filmland, but this one got left in the basket. Look at that. It's Danny Trejo. Thank you.
Wow. Real grown up, Emily. Let's check that tote board. That. Ooh, $51,206. Holy cats, you Misties are just amazing. We're almost to our goal of $55,000. Let's keep it coming. I think if we focus, we'll make it. Just a way to thank all of these acts and performers that have gotten together to entertain us the night before Halloween. So if you haven't donated already to MIGIZI, please do. Hey, Joel, I know you've got another guest for us.
I sure do.
Oh boy.
This next guy, has worked on Mystery Science Theater. He was part of the old school shows. He was in his early 20s when he started writing for us. He used to live in Milwaukee, and we'd send him videotapes back in the day, and he'd write riffs for us. And he's since gone on to work on projects like the Sarah Silverman program. He's currently a writer on Rick and Morty, and he's one of the visionaries behind Channel 101, which has kind of spawned so many great talents that are making movies now and TV shows. And I wanted to say hi to him because he's really special, and he also directed Mystery Science Theater's The Gauntlet that's on Netflix. And he's just a guy who's made another puppet deconstructionist who's done brilliant work. Robot Bastard, he's the creator of Scud the Disposable Assassin, Twigger's Holiday, all these like very outrageous videos early in camera with a lot of beautiful in-camera work. So Rob Schraub, are you there, man?
I'm right here, Joel.
Oh, thanks.
What an amazing
intro.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and so what does it feel like, man? You what was going on when you were in Milwaukee and you were writing for MST?
Well, I was introduced to MST through a friend of mine who was in the workshops when I was doing improv workshops at Comedy Sports. And that was the first time I heard about Mystery Science Theater. And he said, hey, check this out. And we watched it. I don't remember which episode we watched, but we watched it and I was like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I do whenever I watch a movie, is I riff on all the stuff. Like, I mean, like that was like my comedy training, was watching other movies and making my friends laugh. Like my favorite thing to do is to get a group of people together, get some pizza and beer and just watch movies and goof on it. And it was so much fun. And to see like what you guys were doing, but on such a great scale with like making scratch built puppets and putting it all in space was just so genius. And it spoke to me. So I saw one episode and I was like, oh man, this is what I wanted to do. And it was probably one of the biggest inspirations as far as a comedic writer. And I would say Dan Harmon, who created Channel 101 and also Rick and Morty, and also was a good friend of ours. He, we met each other at the same time in the same improv workshop, and he was also obsessed with Mystery Science Theater as well. And we were big on reference humor. We were big on just media. We ate up everything, cheesy movies. We loved it. We loved it. So I owe a lot to you, Joel.
Oh, thanks, man. Well, it's all coming back because you came back and directed and did such a brilliant job for us. So thank you for that. And it was
really a dream come true. It really was.
So great, and you're such a good director. And I thought it'd be really fun to show one of our more ambitious pieces, which is a musical number that had all the robots in mech suits. So this is probably one of our most ambitious puppet shoots. It seemed like it's worthy to show at Puppet Camp. And anyway, let's watch Get in Your Mech and Drive, directed by Rob Schraub.
Jonah, why do we have to wear these stupid mech suits?
Yeah, this one's really tight on my area.
Don't ask me. Kinga decreed it.
I sure did. We're on episode 2, and I think we need a big viral earworm like last season's hit song, Every Country Has a Monster.
Reptilica's had a monster in it. Atlantic Rim's got a monster in it. It calls out for a banging jam. The mech suits add production value.
But Every Country Has a Monster was just one of those things you can't possibly recreate by design.
Yeah, it was the first sketch of the new season.
Yeah.
There we were, an all-new cast trying to make sense of it all, and we simply, humbly knocked it out of the park.
Well,
Yeah, proving beyond the shadow of a doubt that we were indeed pure magic.
oh, maybe not that, but like, you can't just demand we come up with a brilliant song.
But we do demand it. Or I'll hit the shock dickies.
Well, I don't know what that is, but it sounds painful. Growler and Waverly, hit it.
Sick beat drop.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a jam.
I like
Yeah,
that.
we can do this.
Yeah.
Should I start? Or? Yeah, you just start. Definitely you.
We're going cruising, ain't never gonna slow down.
Dancing like pirates in a Punxsutawney hoedown.
Electric City or a borough or a township.
Life is a circus and we're living at the clown tip.
Badgers in the backyard because of all the solar flares.
Don't ever sublet your apartment to some polar bears.
I made an omelet in it out of 2,700 eggs.
Yeah, he really, 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 really loves it.
My racing machine.
And Sleepy Graham Greene can barely keep his eyes open.
Get in your Meg.
Protect your neck.
Like Gregory Peck would do if he were alive.
Don't work on spec.
Post-dated check. Genuflect and
Get in your neck and drive.
Guys, this is nowhere near the majesty of Every Country Has a Monster. This is not what we had in mind.
Yeah, it stinks. And not in the joke way. It just really stinks.
We built a deck with Alex Trebek, funky disco. Oh, we got all these.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Rob, you still there, man?
Still here, always here.
Lovely. I love that.
It's
Thank
so
you.
good.
Thank you so much. And it was just, I just am so grateful for what you did. I mean, you really, I don't know, man. What do you, I mean, I just want to ask you one question. Like, what's your, well, number one, I think you may have introduced me to Jonah. I can't remember. Is that right?
I don't know. I mean, Jonah and I were friends before.
I think we met at the Meltdown or something. I'm pretty sure.
That might.
It's possible that I think we met because we were gonna write. I mean, you were doing a channel, the 101s. Is that what that was called?
Channies. The Channies.
The Channies.
Yeah.
And you asked me to present, and I was in LA for some reason,
Yeah.
and I met Jonah through you, and then I pulled Jonah into. I was at the Sportsman's Lodge, right in the Valley, and he came out. And we had a meal together, and we wrote. And that was the first time I said, "Hey, this guy might be the new host. He's like easy to write with, and he's really great." So, anyway, thank you so much, man. We got to keep rolling, but it's so great to see you, and thanks for your help. Okay.
Anytime. Love you, Joel.
All right, love you too, man. Thanks. Well, let's talk about the next piece here. We're going to go and I wanted to throw to GPC and Emily because they're going to the tote board.
That's right. Thanks, Joel. And you know what? I dug back into the basket after that Danny Trejo joke, and I found one more joke for famous pumpkins of Filmland that's very poignant, and it's not a pumpkin. It's the absence of the great pumpkin because it's been taken by an apple. How dare you?
Wow.
Topical.
Amazing. Topical.
So now you can snap your fingers and bob your head now because Puppet Camp 2, A Few Puppets More, is now a hipster coffee house.
Emily, you're absolutely done now, right? Like that was the last one in the basket.
Oh yeah, that was my big closer.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Now let's check the tote board and make our pleas for MIGIZI. Oh, we're up more money. $51,386. You Misties really are the bestest of the bestest. Keep donating and we'll still be here for a few more minutes. And
We're getting so close. And now, here's the second short that MIGIZI backers pledged money to and our writers and performers at Alterniversal volunteered their time and talents for. We now present A Busy Day at the Fair, featuring Bill Corbett as Crow T. Robot, Joel Hodgson as Joel Robinson, and J. Elvis Weinstein as Tom Servo.
Oh, we got wings
Busy day at the county fair. I was looking forward to relaxing with a funnel cake.
Get bent, is what someone said when they needed a professor of education.
Have you ever been to a county fair?
No, but I've been to county jail.
Every summer, many people come to fairs like this one. This is the story of one family and their busy day at the county fair. Jerry and Linda and their parents have been to the fair before, but this year is special.
It's the year of the rat.
This year,
Hooray.
Linda and Jerry have entered something in one of the because he has promised his family a surprise at the fair.
Fairs in a garage?
Father says there's plenty of time before his surprise, so he suggests that they all look at some of the exhibits first. The first exhibit they saw was a display of vegetables. At a fair, the best things in each exhibit win prizes. This man's pumpkin has won a prize.
Despite clearly being the lamest one.
One of these fine squashes has won a first prize. The family looked at the flower exhibit next. Here were beautiful flowers of many different kinds.
Feed me, Seymour.
Near the flowers was an exhibit of handicrafts, small articles made by hand.
Trinkets, tchotchkes, landfill
In
fodder.
some wire cases, there were other handicrafts that were interesting, especially to Linda. They were handmade aprons. Linda thought that next year she might make an apron to bring to the fair.
She dreams big.
And now the children were very eager to see an exhibit in another building. Can you guess what they wanted to see?
Body worlds?
Yeah.
Jerry ran ahead into the building where the poultry exhibit was. And this is what the children were interested in.
Big money cockfighting.
It was their pet duck that they had entered in the fair.
Refreshing.
Jerry wanted to make sure their duck had enough to eat.
You like candy corn, Mr. Chicken?
It was a very tame duck, and its name was Snowflake.
I got the name online.
Later, the judge, a man who knew a lot about ducks, would pick the best ones. But there was still plenty of time before the judging of the poultry would start. So they went to see some of the other animals. Father was eager to look at the livestock. There were some fine sheep at the fair. Their owners were getting them ready for the judge to look at.
I tried counting them, boss, but I just keep falling asleep.
That one's a liar.
The judge looked over several sheep and then pointed to one. It was a fine-looking ram. The owner of the ram was Mr. Allan. Father and the family congratulated Mr. Allan on his prize-winning animal. Then Jerry and Linda asked to see some of the other livestock.
All right, Allan, let's talk sheep.
There was another prize winner, a big hog.
Oh, I'm gonna get them Duke boys!
It was a fine male hog, a boar. And it had already won 3 prizes.
Wow, check it out. He's going to state for farting.
Linda thought she liked the dairy cattle best of all the animals because they always seemed so gentle. They looked at some young cows, not quite fully grown. These are called heifers.
This one's named Hugh Heifer.
Not far away were some steers. Steers are beef cattle.
So don't get too attached.
Linda and Jerry watched the judges.
I think that one's just 2 guys in a
Everyone
cow
was
suit.
very quiet as the judges looked at the steers. They were heavy, well-fed animals.
Like your mom.
Jerry thought one of the steers owned by a boy would win. Linda picked one of the steers owned by a girl to win.
They were extremely
The judges
predictable
carefully
children.
compared the steers to see which one was better. Then one judge handed a ribbon for first prize to a girl. Her steer had won.
thus ending the patriarchy.
Jerry told Linda she was a better cattle judge than he was. And now it was time to see the judging they were most interested in, the poultry contest.
Well, hello, ladies.
The judge was having a hard time deciding among the ducks.
They all look alike. What do I do?
Finally, he gave out the ribbons.
This one, I guess. Yeah.
Snowflake didn't win a prize. But Father said the children did well for their first try, and maybe Jerry and Linda would win a prize next year.
And Snowflake's going to P.F. Chang's.
After the contest, Jerry and Linda wanted to see more of the fair. But Father said he had to finish preparing his surprise. So they would all meet later.
Over there.
At the grandstand. Father suggested that while he was getting ready for the surprise, Jerry, Linda, and Mother could go over to the Midway.
That fateful suggestion would haunt him for the rest of his days.
The Midway was the part of the fair where all the rides were. There were so many things on the Midway, Jerry and Linda didn't know what they wanted to do first.
So they went home.
There was a shooting gallery.
My tooth! My other tooth!
A place to test your strength.
I'm pretending this is you, Dad!
And, of course, many wonderful rides.
I count 3.
First, Jerry and Linda went on a ride called the Mixer.
It was a tornado of vomit.
Then they rode on the roller coaster.
Roller coaster of love. My love is like a roller coaster, baby, baby.
They had time for one more ride, so they tried the octopus.
It had just been hastily constructed by roustabouts.
Now they would have to hurry. It was time for Father's surprise. Father had told the family to go to the grandstand. A lot of people were already there.
And they were really angry.
Jerry and Linda and Mother found some seats.
Mom, are those Mennonites?
Then Linda saw Father.
He's nude!
He was sitting on his tractor. So that was Father's surprise. He had entered his tractor in the pulling contest.
It was a terrible surprise.
Mother explained the tractor pulling contest to Linda and Jerry. A heavy load was hooked to each tractor.
We call it the burden of sin.
The tractor had to pull a steel sled with a load of concrete blocks. The tractor that could pull the heaviest load would be the winner.
And is granted a full pardon by the governor.
As the tractor went down the track, men would step on the load to make it heavier. Each man added more and more weight. Little by little, the tractor slowed down.
Just like Grandpa.
Finally, the wheels began to spin.
Just like my career.
The tractor stopped.
The driver lay motionless.
Now another tractor would try. Once again, the load was pulled. The family watched as more and more men got on the load.
Young man, there's no need to feel down, I said, young man.
And finally, the second tractor stopped. And now it was Father's turn. There he was, getting ready. His motor sounded good, and he hoped his wheels were weighted properly. Slowly, his tractor pulled the sled.
No kidding, slowly.
Now, once again, the men got on to make the load heavier. It was easy at first, but what would happen when all the men got on?
Pandemonium?
Keep going, Dad. Come on. Keep going.
Very similar voices in that
He
family.
was still going. Now he was halfway down the course.
He could go.
The tractor was still going.
Still
going.
Where? He could go all the way. He could go all the way.
Now he was almost at the end of the course. Now almost every man was on.
On Thorazine.
Still going.
They're creating their own gravitational field.
He made it. Father had won the tractor pulling contest. The judge gave a trophy.
But no cash prize?
What would the family think of that? Jerry said it was a wonderful surprise.
I think it's a wonderful surprise.
Father said he surprised himself, too, when he won first place. But now they'd have some fun. First, they'd have something to eat at the hot dog stand.
Barbie dogs,
And then there was the Ferris wheel.
The DMV of carnival rides.
It was the ride that Jerry and Linda had saved for the last.
Due to its high mortality rate.
Jerry couldn't wait. At first, Linda thought she might be scared, but after she was in the seat, she found that it was fun.
It's like going to the dentist.
Why are we going backwards? Oh my God!
Around they went.
Save Ferris!
As they came to the top, Jerry and Linda had a view of the whole fair. They thought of all the exhibits they had seen and all the things they had done.
Bye, kids. We're off to Barbados.
Food in the fridge.
Children, I don't know how to break this to you, but 20 years have passed.
When it was over, they were ready to go home.
Thanks for everything, Mr. Drifter, sir.
It was a wonderful way to end a busy day at the county fair.
Hey, I got an idea. Let's go check out the state fair next.
Don't get cocky, Jerry.
My tummy hurts.
Wow, day at the county fair. Very interesting. Matt, can we get a last look at that tote board? $51,486. Wow. Thank you, Misties. Well, this has been a thrilling and pretty much startling conclusion to the MIGIZI fundraiser.
And we're gonna keep the fundraiser open through Halloween weekend if you want to donate, but then that'll be the end of it. Waffles!
It's gonna be like the election, since we're gonna have to tally up the votes after election day with so many mail-ins. Topical.
You know, just for old time's sake, let's get a look at that final tally.
It just looks so beautiful.
It really does. Gosh, it's gorgeous to look at.
It's
Oh, thank you.
gorgeous.
Thank you all so very much.
Guys, what are we gonna do with all that money?
Emily, it's all going to MIGIZI, remember? It's not for us.
This concludes Hodgson's Puppet Camp 2, Secret of the Ooze. I'm Tom Servo announcing.
Hey, bots, let's wrap it up. Happy Halloween, everyone.
See you on
See you on Turkey Day.
Bye. Bye. Okay, you're back.
Bye now. Bye. Bye-bye now.
Yay.
Bye.
Waffles.
Ah, he's back.